What does that sound, you ask?
From the #1 station, you come.
Welcome to the Rec Show podcast, a show dedicated to beatmakers around the world. Kick back, relax with the host, Golden Mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Annie.
Is his name Chance? See, I don't even know what his name is.
WBAG, the bag. 104.20 Portland's home for smoking hits of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Coming at you at the top of the hour, it's the Modes and the Big Show. Your wake and bake morning commute to get you where you're going with ease and stress-free. Coming up next, we got another merch-free, commercial-free block of beats, all slappers, all heat to move your feet. It's the Big Smoke Hour, right here on 104.20 WBAG, the bag.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? Golden Mind here for the Rec Show podcast, man. Yo, happy belated 420. And yo, I had to start the show off with Big Smoke Volume 1 by the one and only Goddamn Chan. Yeah, man. This joint, he ain't lying, man. This joint is all slappers, man. W-Bag 104.20. Get it? 104.20, 420 FM. And then the name of this track is called Neon, man. So, yo, shout out to Goddamn Chan, man. I got my package. I'm gonna put it on. I might put it on IG, man, later, or Twitter, just to see what it looks like, man. The packaging on this joint is amazing, man. So, great job. Need y'all to go tap in on this. You can support this on Bandcamp. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of the show. Just scroll down to the bottom. You see all the links to the show, man. And enjoy this. We'll be back with the interview with the one and only. I can't tell y'all. You thought I was gonna slip. Got your blessings, not your problems, man. Peace and love, yo. All right, check. Peace and love, everybody. What's up, everybody? Golden Mind here. Welcome back for another episode of the Rec Show podcast. Yo, this week has been amazing, man. Went to my first Flip a Beat club yesterday in Austin, Texas, man. So that was an amazing experience. All the dope beat mutants out there, yo, they was killing it, man. So many different styles, so many different instruments that they use to craft their art as well, man. So I want to say a big shout out to Flip a Beat Club Austin as well. But then getting to the podcast part, last week, man, we had Sam Drumlow, Floridian. And then we had the week before that, J Ideas. The week before that, we had J Filt. So, yo, man, I need y'all to go ahead and run those up, check those out. Crazy jewels dropped in these podcasts, man. And yo, I'm honored that they said yes and gave me a little bit of their time, a little bit of their energy, and to pass on to everybody that listens to the show, man. So I want to say thank you because you listening right now. So I appreciate you. I appreciate every minute, every second that you listen to the show. But yo, we going to somewhere where I know y'all know about, but y'all don't really know about it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get my guest to tell y'all about it, man. We're going to California. We're going to Inglewood. All right. Can I say Inglewood up to no good?
Yep.
They still say that?
Yeah, they still
Okay,
do that.
I got that from the Wood, from the
Yeah.
Wood movie,
Inglewood. Yeah.
Inglewood. So, yo, man, she's a artist, man, and electronic artist. You can't even put anything she does into a box. Her sound is different. Ain't nobody that sound like her. Yo, man, just the way she craft like her videos, her performances, all that type of stuff. We gonna get into all of that. All right. Yo, she's performed for like Burgers and Beats. She's performed for man, where else? Beat Cinema, man. Yo, a heavy hitter. They just went over to Coachella as well, man. So, yo, man, I want y'all to give it up for the one and only Illixie to the show, man. What's going on, yo?
Hey, hi, y'all.
Hey, we good. We good, yo. Listen, I only gave, you know what I mean, the mutants or the multiverse a little bit of an intro, but for the beatheads that don't know who you are, and the listeners that don't know who you are, can you give them a little bit of, how you came up, who you are, how you came up with your name, any collectives that you might be a part of, hashtag girls just want to make beats. See, I put that in there, you know what I mean? So go ahead and give them a little bit real quick.
Well, hey, I'm Illixie. I'm in Inglewood, as we started off with. And I am originally a artist. I paint, draw, sketch. I also make sculptures. And after a while, I started getting into beats. Probably was that early 2014? I started making beats on the 404 and FL Studio. Started out like that. And I just been going ever since. And now I pretty much been making, intergalactic hip hop, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
And basically my name is originally a cyclist name. I used to be in a little cyclist group back in the day, and we used to have different names, and I came up with Illixie. And I kind of related it to Tinkerbell, the Ill Fairy. So
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
the Ill Fairy.
yeah.
So it's I'm magical.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the collectives I am a part of right now is Ladies Love Loops. That's with my fellow producer gals, Duck Girl and Krishan. Shout out to them.
Kershaw and the dog. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, Krishan and the dog. Yep. And Duck Girl. And we've been curating shows around Los Angeles of all women lineup of producers, singers, rappers, DJs, everything. And it's been dope. We're getting ready to have our third one. That's April 27th. That's going to be the Beat Cinema takeover. We're joining with Beat Cinema. It's going to be at the Melody Lounge. It's going to be dope. So I'm looking forward to that. And going to play some new stuff there. So yeah, it's going to be dope.
Yo, that's super dope, man. Shout out to Beat Cinema, Ladies Love Loops, Duck World. Shout out to all of them, man. Yo, I've been seeing y'all. I just see y'all on Instagram because I'm in Texas. So I just see y'all on Instagram doing y'all thing, man. It looks beautiful. The energy looks great in there. Y'all be yo, I got to get there one day. So one day this year, I'm getting there. I'm going to go. What I got? 8 months left. So I got 8 months left to make it to one of those shows, yo. So, but yo, that's the Ill Fairy, yo. That's super dope, yo. That's super dope, man. But yo, the way you describe your music, yo, it is some intergalactic Sun Ra-esque, yo, man, you can't put your finger on it, and that's probably on purpose. You don't want people to put your finger on it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So, yo, we're gonna get into some of your performances.
It's almost I want you to pretty much.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So sorry, it kind of broke up right there, but
no, you good.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I kind of want people to just indulge in my music and get lost. It's almost like an acid trip. Pretty much. Yeah. So it's to kind of the audio visual, in your mind, you close your eyes and you develop worlds when you listen. So that's usually the goal.
Yo, that's what, and we're gonna talk about one of your performances I saw too, where it's the Beatmakers room. I think you did a performance for the Beatmakers room in the Halloween. We're gonna talk about the Halloween costume and all that. But I was like, yo, it's like a trip, man. If I ever was to take like, some psychedelics or anything like that, like I feel like I would be like just looking at all the colors and stuff like that, just look. Yeah. Oh man, I'm on a tangent right now, but but that's how I feel, man. So that's what makes your music so good, man, so great. And that's why I had to have you as a guest. Cause I'm like, first of all, I don't have enough females on the show. That's one thing. And second, so I was like, I'm gonna do something about that. Second thing is, I was like, she's definitely a different type of mutant in the multiverse of beats, So, but, and you said this a little bit in the Beatmakers room, about how you started making music, how you began your journey in music. But for my audience, can you go into a little bit of how you came in to make beats and music? I know it has a lot to do with your mom playing music and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Mainly like my mom, she played like a lot of beats. I grew up with a lot of Dilla and Pete Rock. And then she also played like a lot of West Coast stuff like Ice Cube, all of them, Missy. I listened to a lot of Missy growing up. And my grandmother as well, she started playing like The Doors. I got into a lot of rock music and all that. So I had like the clash of like all types of genres.
Right.
So for like when I was growing up, I had like my jazz period where I was just like all on jazz. I love Dave Koz and all that. And then like I moved on and got into like house music and raving and all that. And it just over the years, it kind of shaped my ear into exploring different genres. And once I started actually making music, I was just like, I have to try each style of music and try to like blend it all and make it my own though.
Right. So, you did it, man. I mean, I know you're still on the journey. I know you're still crafting your sound and everything like that, but
definitely.
Man.
Yeah, I like to experiment a lot. It's literally like being a scientist, like a mad scientist. And kind of like in the Beatmaker room, that costume was like my version of Chucky, like a black girl version of Chucky.
Yeah.
It was like really bloody.
Yeah.
But I was trying to channel like being in like a horror house in there, like just I had like kind of like this trance beat going. I had like a variety of sounds going, but I really wanted to like give it like this scary feel. So I think because I'm a visual artist too, and I make paintings and all that stuff, I try to blend the two, like try to make music visual without having visuals per se, just kind of hear it and like imagine it. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, because when you look at the room where you were performing at, it's all white.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like it's a hospital type of so and
that was totally unplanned. I didn't even know the room was gonna be like that. It was Halloween and I came dressed up. I just showed up as is.
Wow.
So it worked perfectly.
So I don't know if you know this person, this mutant, man. He's definitely one of the ones that loves Halloween too. OKY.
Yes.
So so OKY, like you and him, like as far as Halloween goes, y'all deep dive into Halloween.
Yeah.
Like y'all.
I'm gonna get at him eventually. Like we'll have to do something with some horror stuff because I have some stuff for him that I think he would like.
Man, I'll please put that on the gram, or the website.
That'll be cool.
That'll be dope, cool. So okay, so you said you make not just music, not just I don't even want to say music, man. I want to say experiences, man. Like you create art, right? You create paintings. So how did you get into the painting part, the art part?
Well, I was super little. Like my mom saw that I had an interest in drawing. really young, so she put me in like art classes. And so like I would be at these art classes with older kids and adults and doing like pastels and stuff like that. And then I moved on from pastels to painting and drawing. And I started using like acrylics. And over time, it was just like a natural development, but I did go to school for that. I went to college and all that for art. And over the years, I've just been getting into the digital art, like doing animation and trying to link my music with the animation. So I'm getting a little better at it. For a while, I wasn't sure how people were going to take it. So I do it in little doses. But now I'm just starting to be like, hey, I have a lot of little digital drawings and little animations that I just want to start putting out with like my music and stuff to kind of give you that sense of what I'm trying to convey through music.
That's dope, man. And I'm gonna ask you about this Childlike video in a little bit, because that was an interesting video. But I wanted to ask, so your family, right? Your mom's playing all these records, your grandma playing all of these records. They're shaping the way that you're perceiving music, and they ain't just keep you in a box of just hip hop. They put you in a whole bunch of different genres and experiences and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's man, what, like, how am I saying this? Do you feel like that's a permanent oh man, I'm losing the question right now. I can't even believe I can't get this out. The genres, man, the genres that you were listening to, mom's, grandmom, which is intentional, right? Because as a kid, you just taking on all of the information from outside, right? So I'm right, a sponge, right? So I'm wondering if your moms and your grandmoms just, that's what they were into, so you were just like soaking it up, or was it intentional?
I feel like as a little girl, it was just, I was soaking it up. And once I started getting into other genres, it was like, oh my gosh, I want to learn about this. Oh my gosh, they make that kind of music. What is this called? Like, I need to find out this. So it just became a passion over time. So I started venturing out into things that I really wanted to hear, like a certain sound, especially like one of the genres I really got into was like noise and all that. And so like I tried to, in the beginning of getting into beats, I was trying to do all of that, and I was just like, it would be better if I spread this out amongst the other genres that I want to, create or play with. So that's definitely, it was like the sponging, and over time it became like a passion.
I got you. Yo, so you starting in 2014 making your own music and trying these different sounds and putting your own experiences together. How did you know it was time to like let other people hear your music? Like what was that experience?
Oh my gosh. That was crazy, because the first project I ever put out was based off of my favorite anime, which is Sailor Moon. And it was called Moon Prism Power. It was a Moon Prism Power EP. And I worked on it super hard and was just like, okay, I'm gonna put it out. But I had a moment where it was just like, nah, people are gonna laugh at me because it sounds like little kid stuff. I hear my friends, my peers were making beats and stuff like that, and I'm just like, yo, I really want to do that. Like, I really want to get out there and share my music and just see. So I was nervous, but I did it, and I put it up on SoundCloud, and it went pretty good. Like, I was shocked. And then eventually I put it on Spotify later on, but I ended up taking it down. But I'm eventually going to put it back out so people can hear like where I started from. So yeah, it was interesting putting that out, because I was just like, it's time. And I think I put that out, I think that was like 2016. I want to say was like, yeah, I think that was around 2016 when I put that out. Yeah, but I was very nervous. But something just told me, like, if you really want people to see you, the authentic you, this is definitely another means of communication, because I feel like I communicate better through my art. Like, I can tell you exactly. I don't necessarily always have the words. I can just tell you via art.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, man, as I'm learning about, you know, the universe and stuff like that, like that's still like English, like using words to express feelings and emotions. That's something like we constructed, right? So like, and art and music and, you know, creating stuff like that's like true, universal talk type of thing, like the creator talking through you, right? So
absolutely,
yeah, that's amazing, man. I ask my guests all the time about this question, man. And if you're able to, can you name that like one? Oh, well, before I even go to that one, the Sailor Moon project. Sailor Moon project, like what made you take that off of Spotify? Because we have a lot of back and forth about DSPs and, you know, people not really truly appreciating the art that, you know, creators put up there.
It was cool, but then like I had a friend at the time who was really starting to get into managing artists and everything like that, and he was like, you know, that's a project you should just like take that off of Spotify. And I was just like, listen to him and his reasoning as to why. And I was just like, yeah, huh? And he was like, yeah, you need to put up your Bandcamp. He was like, you need to put that on Bandcamp. And once I moved to a different place, and I do have a son. We all like moved in or whatever, and my computer at the time, I had the project on there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it back on Bandcamp. And thank goodness I had it on backup, but that computer ended up dying and it just didn't work. And I was just, oh my God, I don't have it, but I backed it up. Okay, I had it on backup. So it's still here. I still have it.
Message. Hey, back your stuff up,
yeah. But I wanted to I've been playing with some of the songs, and I'm like, I should redo a few of them and just like do them as remixes and put out the original and then do like a remix project with it. So that's something I've been toying with the idea, but I do want to put it back up so people can hear like the very first beat music from me. So yeah,
that's because getting a full depiction of your discography, like where you started from to where you are now, like you think that's super important for your supporters, the people that actually take the time and listen to your music. You think that's important for them to go through that journey with you?
Most definitely. It kind of tells you the story of the artist, and it helps you connect, because definitely when I started, the reception was super warm. Like people just embraced what I was doing. Nobody was like, oh, that's whack, or they're just like, wow, that's cool, like you're doing that. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just keep going. And over time I started putting out little singles and then putting out more projects, and just that warm reception was nice. And then even people relating to some of the stuff I was putting out, even though I didn't have words per se on any of the tracks, people related to it. And I was just like, wow, okay, so people do I can communicate this way and they understand.
Right.
So yeah, it was dope. It was a dope feeling to like connect with people that just got it. Like I understand what you're on. Like I get it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I just want to keep that up and get better at it.
That's amazing. That's an amazing, just from you just starting off and people understanding like the music, like where you trying to take your creativity, man. That's amazing. We need a lot more people like that in the world, man. Supportive, like even if they don't really like get it, they see you trying to do something and then they still support, It's
a form of storytelling. Like I really want to take you through parts of my life that are like very dear to me, and I know other people can relate to that, because people have times where in their lives it's just like, oh yeah, like I remember this feeling, and how did that make me feel when all this was going on, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just like a new way of storytelling, and I love doing that.
Yo, that's a dope way to think about that. That new a way of storytelling, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a jewel you just dropped, yo. That's a jewel. I appreciate that. Yo, so okay, listen. I gotta ask this question, man. And if you're able to, can you name like that one beat that you heard that kind of just like it might be one, it might be a couple beats, but it just when you heard it, you was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I listening to? How did they make this? How can I go make this type of thing? Like,
it was Slum Village, Go Ladies. I was a kid, like I was actually my mom. I had pneumonia. I used to get pneumonia a lot because I had asthma at the time, and like around like Christmas, I end up hospitalized with pneumonia for like 2 weeks. And I was still in the hospital. I was recovering. She brought me my Walkman and she brought Slum Village. And I played that CD over and over, but I would always get stuck on Go Ladies. Like, that was, I don't know what it was about that beat. It just felt so ethereal. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
It just made me feel like I want to make stuff like this. Like I was like, how can I do this? Mm-hmm. And then once, like my mom was like, well, you know, this is Dilla, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I was just like, all right, I have to like study. So like I would just listen to that song over and over and hear each little part and want to know how can I do this. So that always resided with me as a kid. And then once I was able to make beats, I was like, anytime I hear that song, it just gets me like, how did this man do this?
Yo, nobody truly knows except for like house shoes or oh man, what's my man's name? He got the glasses, DJ.
I think I know who you're talking about, and it's leaving me.
It's gonna come to me though. It's gonna come. But yo, they're the only ones that really know like how this mad scientist J Dilla created the beats, man, to make them so hypnotic and memorable. Mm-hmm. Like some of my guests that I asked that question, they be thinking for a little bit, but you right off the top, boom, that's the first one that came to you, yo. Yeah. So. And that was at a crazy time to where you could actually, like, you were sitting still and actually take in those frequencies, right? So, man, shout out to your mom. Is your mom's a DJ or something, yo?
No, like, my mom, it's so funny. Like, this is a funny story, but when I was a kid out here, we had Power 106 is the radio station. And there used to be these DJs on called the Baker Boys. And they used to have these contests where people would call in and freestyle. And my mom is a hell of a freestyler. Yeah. So one week they had like this one, like they would do like, was like 106 in Park where they'll have like the champion of the week and then like a person that would come and challenge them. So they had this chick who was like the champion for the week. And it was Friday, and they were like, we're giving away 4-pack tickets to Disneyland, you know, to the person who wants to freestyle against her. So my mom calls in, and she freestyles and wins tickets, and we go to Disneyland. It was the dopest experience. So, like, my mom is creative in her own ways, but she does not, like, DJ or anything like that. But, yeah, she is a hell of a freestyler because it won us tickets and I got to go out to Disneyland. It was the best experience ever. So yeah. Wow. Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms, yo. Like, yo, can we expect, and I'm getting ahead of myself, can we expect a project between you and your mom? You know, you creating the music, she, you know what I mean? She's doing her, you know what I mean, her freestyling over it, yo. I mean, yo.
Maybe. If anything, you might hear something from me and my son. So that's something that,
it's a family affair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If anything, you might hear that before my mom. Okay. I would try. Try.
That's dope, man. So, okay, next question, man. I gotta ask this, and this is for my like my fellow mutants that's on this music journey. Some of them may be in it for a long time now, but some of them may be just starting today. Like when they listening to this podcast and they trying to get ideas of how to go about learning and stuff like that. But if you're able to, since you've been in it for a little bit, can you almost 10 years? Yeah, next year
it's almost 10 years. Yep.
Yeah, almost 10 years. Wow.
I always automatically say 10 years when people ask me like, how long you been doing this? I'll be like 10 years. Yes. Almost there.
Right off the top. So like, if you're able to, man, are you able to like recommend some of these mutants, like watch this or read this or listen to this to kind of like just give them something to like they can start enhancing their tool set, their mindset?
I would definitely recommend people go to Serato, look at Serato's YouTube page, and like they have Serato Studio. It's a great tool. It's so dope. I've been using that as of lately, creating some of my beats and everything, and they kind of go step by step and it's easy to pick up. But also outside of that, I would recommend people start to play with Koala. That's like the go-to. If you don't have necessarily the money to go buy some big equipment like in the SP or something like that, if you have a smartphone, get Koala and start, playing with some samples, chopping them up, get you some. You can even use your own, beatboxing. You can make your own beats with your mouth on Koala. I think that's like the best way. It's kind of like being a little kid all over again. You kind of explore and just start playing with stuff and kind of getting the feel versus the whole, you got to get, if you want to be like this person, you got to get this equipment, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's all about having fun with it versus trying to be something. That's like not the premise of creating. It's like, have fun with it, and then over time you want to share it, you share with everybody and go from there. But yeah, definitely I recommend those two things. Serato's YouTube page is great learning tool, and getting Koala, the Koala app is, I feel like if you really are trying to start off somewhere, Koala is your best friend, and as well as Serato. So
got you. Hey, a lot of my guests recommend Serato. Like Serato is Serato and then Koala as well. Cause for, I don't know, maybe $8-10 for to get, to unlock some certain things. Yep. Like that's a doll. That's like almost, that's like Ableton on your phone. Yeah.
Yes. And I think Ableton is like, they have a mobile thing now too, but I'm not too familiar with Ableton and I really want to learn Ableton. So that's a goal too. But I mean, like the two pieces of equipment that I'm using now would be my my MKIII, my machine, and my SP404. So those have been my best friends. They've been having a love affair with each other.
Shout out. I'm a machine head too. I just got my 404 too. So I'm trying to integrate that. Right fun. Now
it's fun,
man. So
it's fun.
Yo, that's okay. Serato Studio. A lot of people, man, like it's so many people that are making some amazing stuff in Serato Studio. Just the tools and the stems. You can break down the sample and get the stems and this thing is about to go crazy. Crazy. But oh man, I had a side question. As far as creating, why do you think we as human beings forget that when you're creating, it's supposed to be a fun experience?
That is such a good question. I feel like as adults, we tend to get in that mood of like, or not even that mood, but that mode of being in this structure. And I feel like when you're creating, there's really no boundaries. You got to let the boundaries down and you kind of, it's like coloring outside of the lines. That's that's always been me as a child. Like I've always been a child that colored outside the lines. I never stay in my lines. Even when I draw now, I still always have little tiny little pieces of color outside of the lines, because you're creating, you shouldn't be so rigid with it, because that's when you get the technicalities, all of that, and that gets in your way. You really got to go back into that childhood mode of like just having fun. It's like getting paint all over your hands and finger painting and just doing all that, waving your fingers all around. You got to like kind of feel it and just relax and have fun with it. I just think it's that whole getting into that mode of being in a structure versus when you create, you just kind of, you let the boundaries down and you let it flow, not have this like structure to it. Yeah, you do need you need a guideline, I would say, in creating, but not necessarily a whole super confinement, like these boxes you just have to hit. No, you want to kind of weave in and out of those boxes and create waveforms and I'm thinking of visuals here. Like circles. It's patterns versus just straight lines. Yeah. So
yeah.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Do you think like you are, every time you create, do you think you tap into that inner child every time you create? And how important is tapping into that inner child when you're creating?
Definitely, because let's see, I think it's really important to always honor that inner child, because when I was a kid, I got teased for being me. And like, a lot of kids would be like, oh, you're trying to be white, you're doing this. And it was just like, no, I'm trying to be me. So for a long time, I would like shelter myself. I was still, dressing the way I wanted to dress, but still I always had that moment where I restricted myself for years. And then as I got older and when I even had my own child, it was just like, no, I want my child to know that if you are you, you're you. Don't let nobody tell you elsewise, and you need to be you. So I always honor my inner child, because it's like at some point in time I totally repressed myself and kind of stop shining, as my grandma would always tell me, to like, you gotta shine, girl, you gotta shine. So,
Yo, shout out to grandmoms, man. That grandmom energy, man, is priceless, man. I miss both my grandmoms, man. So
I just lost my grandma and my grandfather this year. So
man, my condolences to you. I know they still live with you. I know, because the lessons, the memories, the feelings that they gave you, man. Some ass whoopings came with that too. But it probably was called for.
Like even my grandfather was a freedom writer, and he was a musician himself. He was in a group back in Texas, because he's from Houston, Fifth Ward, and he was in a group called Dan and the Clean Cuts, and they kind of were like the Temptations before the Temptations. So so he had a little musical background as well, and he loved music, like all the Motown, all of that stuff. So he played that stuff too. So I got a little bit of that too. So I can't leave him out.
Yeah, it's in the blood. That's in the blood. It's in the blood. And now it's in your own way. You know what I mean? It's your own version of the music. Oh man, that's super dope, yo. Now I gotta go look up your grandpa's group.
Hey, like I wanted to start like a challenge. Because there's a few tracks of his online on YouTube. Dang, I don't even have it in front of me. I wish I would have brought it in here, the names of those songs. But I want people to like flip those songs, because they're really good songs. And I was just like, wow, like my grandpa was like this close for being like this major group. Right. So him and his friends, they just started singing. And they just Yeah, so
Yo,
I would love that just to honor him, like, you know, since he's passed. So like I would love that. I want to start a challenge with that. I want to gather up the little songs that they have on YouTube and see if people want to flip those.
so see, now you giving me thoughts right now. Is what if we are part of this episode, right?
Okay.
We link, because I'll always link like your jewels, like your music and your social. I include all of that inside of the description of the show. What if I find those on YouTube?
Okay.
Link those and then create that challenge so people can tag you.
Yeah,
what they
that'll
create.
be dope. I would
Oh.
love that. Oh my God, I would love that. That'll be so cool.
Yo, okay, I'm gonna do that. But before I'm gonna let you see the layout. And if you want to change it, just tell me. We'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
for
man,
sure.
yo,
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
Yeah,
Yep, Dan and the clean cuts. Yep, they're online. So yeah, that's good. That'll be so dope. I think there's about like 4 songs. I think there's 4.
You know, I gotta get in this
crazy
challenge.
because it's guys from like the UK, because I couldn't find, it wasn't anybody here in the States. These are like, I contacted one guy and he was like, oh yeah, I'm in the UK. And I'm like, wow, they have that. They have his records. And he's like, yeah, they have them here. And I was just like, wow. I've been trying to like find a record shop in the UK that has it, and so far no luck. But if I can, because I asked that guy, he said he got it at like a yard sale or whatever. So I was just like, dang, I would love to get a hold of one of those vinyls. Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna ask my guy, who was a guest, Dusty Ohms. He's in the UK. So I'm gonna ask him if he can search for that record. And if he can, I'm gonna be like, yo, can you mail that to you? And then you can have that. Yo, so many ideas, yo.
That is like tearjerker. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be dope.
So Dusty Ohms, yo, I know you listen to the show every week. I appreciate you, bruh. Yo, I'm a DM you personally so you can like get that information. Once I get it from Illixie, boom, we gonna make it happen, yo. Yo, man. Okay, so Native Instruments Maschine MKIII. You use Serato Studio 2, you use Koala, you use the SP404. Those are your tools to create your sound. Which one is like, I don't even want to say which one is the most important, but which one of those is like key to us hearing what you let us hear?
Definitely it's now the MK3 and Koala, because I've been using Koala. My last project that I just put out, 1010, that was Koala and just Maschine. And so that was fun because I took some of the samples that I had from Maschine and I was able to put it in Koala and vice versa. So I was able to, you know, cross between. And then I did use a little SP action in there. But mainly Koala and the MK3 are like kind of like my go-tos. I can like, I always call it fleshing out a beat. So like I'll flesh out some drums in Koala, and then I might develop the main like style of what I want through Maschine, and then I'll try to marry the two.
Yeah, that's I do mine's. Well, now that I got the 404, I don't use Koala as much, but every time I want to get a little wild, I'll bounce it into Koala because I don't know, it's something about Koala, man. Like when I create it and I bounce it in Koala, it's like
it does something.
It's something, man.
What you're talking about. I don't know what it does. It's like, hey, how did it? What is the secret?
Yeah, man, it's something, man. So shout out to Elf Audio, man. They doing some amazing stuff over there, man. I can't remember. Is it Merch? I can't remember the creator of it, but of Elf Audio, but.
I forget his name too.
But yo, like one day I'm gonna get an interview with him, man, just to like, yo, what was his idea to come up with this powerhouse of an app? This is an app on your phone that's allowing people to just take like my mouth sounds and create different things, or your voice, or hitting the table and make a kick drum, or
right.
You know what I mean? Like you can sample the world. The world is just sample, basically.
Yeah.
Man,
it's the best feeling to be able to go and you're somewhere and it's like, okay, I gotta be here for a couple hours. I gotta sit here and kind of waste time. Let me put on my headphones and hop on Koala and make a beat. That's how I am now. Like I have it on my phone now, and it's too much. If there's like in between times, like I start making little beats of background noise and drums. Like it's just hilarious. Like it's helping me now, like to be able to just create kind of like at any given moment. Koala is so good for that. That's the best part about Koala. You can take it literally wherever you go and you don't have to worry about the sound changing because you're using it from the phone, from iPad, or so on and so on. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yo, speaking of creating in Maschine and Koala, I got to talk about a few of your albums that you have available on Bandcamp right now and DSPs. 1010, which was dedicated to your, did you say Gma?
My grandma.
Yeah, but you call her.
I call her Gram, but on Bandcamp I put Gma.
Gma.
Yeah, we all called her Gram.
Yeah, so
she hated being called grandma. She was like, "You feel old? Don't call me that. Call me something else." And we were like, Gram.
My mom said the same thing. She was like, "Yo, I don't want them calling me grandma." I'm like, what you want your grandkids to call you then, yo? But 1010, right? And then you got Something on My Mind, which is a joint album with Discipline 99.
Yes.
And then Newborns. So can you talk about the creation of those three albums? Because they all different, yo.
Yeah. So like 1010, I actually made most of those songs on Koala, like I was saying earlier. And that was at the time when like my grandparents were in and out of the hospital. Like it would be like my grandfather would be at home, my grandma's in the hospital, then it switched. My grandfather's in the hospital now, my grandma's back home. So it'd be like I would be at the hospital sitting in the room with them, and it was just kind of like this whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Like eerie feeling, like this unnerving feeling, like what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? And so my grandmother had dementia for 3 years. And so I basically took care of her. We did have like a nurse and everything that was helping as well. But I was just taking care of her up until her last, everything. And those songs, because I felt like I couldn't just angry. I was like upset about everything that was going on. It's just like, these are my grandparents and I want the doctors to do this. And you guys need to do more to help them. It was just that whole kind of feeling, mixed feelings of like hopelessness and anger and sadness. And so those are my that was just like my reason to like sit there and make the songs, was just to cope with what was going on, because it was just like, oh my gosh, I was just overwhelmed because it was both my grandparents and it was all happening at once, and it was just very overwhelming. And one of the songs, I actually was in the room when my grandfather was on a ventilator, and I actually recorded the sounds, and it's actually in the song ICU. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the machine putting the air in and out, and I like so that was very emotional, like just doing that. And that was just, like I said, my way of coping with everything that was going on. So that was a journey. That little project was definitely a journey. Me and Discipline 99, that was like a long time coming. We were working on that. It was COVID, was like kind of kind of like we were post-COVID, kind of almost just about, and we kept saying like, yeah, we got to put something out. We got to put something out. And at that time, I was stuck in the house, and it was like really hard. Like I said, my grandmother was going through her dementia, and be happy at the time, but I loved the fact that I had producer buddies that kind of could understand what I was going through, so I could talk to them about certain things. So like with Discipline 99, I was able to kind of connect with him on that kind of stuff, and we would talk about, you know, what I was going through, and I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to convey it through this. So even the joint project that we put out is definitely like still representing what I was kind of feeling. They're all like little timestamps. I would say like each project is a timestamp of what was going on in my life. So yeah, like with Something on My Mind is definitely like COVID and all of that, dealing with loss, whether it was somebody actually dying from COVID or just losing the ability to talk to, you know, physically go outside with your friends and all that. And then newborns is basically about some very young. I was like 19. He's 16 now. So people always are like, wow, they always think my son's very little, but no, he's 16. And
that's what I thought.
It was pretty much like, yeah, everybody thinks like a little baby. So like when I came up with the cover, I used that picture because I was just like, I remember exactly that day. And when I look at that picture, I always say I'm a deer in the headlights, because or now, mom, you have this little baby and you have no idea what you're doing. You have no fucking idea what you're doing. And so coming up with that project was basically kind of taking you on like an adventure through raising a child as a child, pretty much. Yeah. So like there's a song on there called Immature, and I took some little video game edits that I like sampled. I found it was like a little sample thing that I found that had video game sounds in there. And then also there's like a I think like a machine sound that was on there too that I used. And even with that, like I kind of wanted to play on that whole feeling like a little kid kind of feel when I made that song. It's hard to describe it. I can't really find the words right now. Yeah. That song in particular is like a favorite. People always hit me up and they're like, oh, I love this song. Can I use this song in the background or something? And I'm like, sure, just send it to me. I want to see what you do. Like, yeah. So yeah, that whole project was just about young parenthood, just pointing out different little things. And like the first track is like me and my son, and we're talking, and I'm kind of like telling him stories of like, you know, when I was younger before you, I used to do this and that. And so it's like another storytelling journey in that. Yeah. So
man, timestamps and storytelling, yo.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Just different periods in my life where it's just like, I want to share this with people and kind of give you like insights into who I am, because I feel like my friends that do know me, they know how I am, but I feel like when people meet me in this realm of making music, they don't know who I am. So I try to share that via the music and also bonding with them too. But I don't see everybody every day, and I'm not around everybody every day. So this is my best way to be personable and vulnerable with people. Yeah,
that vulnerability, man. I've been hearing that word for like the last couple of weeks, man. Vulnerability is like the key to like living, basically. like
Yes.
to be vulnerable. But in this day and age where we are right now, it's almost like being vulnerable is frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's I mean, not for everybody, but it's frowned upon when you are expressing yourself or being vulnerable and showing people your vulnerability.
Mhm.
Man, like what would be a key that you can give to the listeners about being vulnerable when creating music or art?
It's honestly a trust in you. Like, you have to have the utmost trust in yourself first, and know that you being vulnerable to everyone else is not so much like, oh, they're gonna laugh at you for this or somebody's gonna clown you for that. It's more so like, when you share this, you are not sure how this is going to affect somebody. It could impact somebody so hard that they're going to come up to you and be like, thank you so much, because I was going through this and that. And when I heard this, it's just like, wow, this really put me on. You have to have that trust automatically in yourself before anything, before you can even like be like, all right, it's time to be vulnerable. If you don't trust yourself and think that it's safe for you to do so through your music, then you're not going to be able to really convey that vulnerability. It's still like what's the word? Like, it's still a barrier.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely just have to have that trust in yourself. Definitely.
Wow. Yo, another jewel you just dropped, yo. So I what's up, baby? My daughter's coming in. What's up, baby? So we got to talk about your performances, right? So first of all, I want to say shout out to Kershaw and the Don, man. She's got the Treehouse, man.
Yes.
The Treehouse, you were on episode number 3.
Yes.
And then you were also doing performances with so you're doing performances at for Beat Cinema and Ladies Love Loops. Can you talk about like what's that like having these outlets for women? And I said girls when I first said I need more girls on the show. I meant women. What's that like performing for these type of venues and these outlets?
Yeah. No problem. For sure. They've also like, and get out of here. It was always like, please come and share whatever you got going on. We want to hear it. People want to hear it. And definitely when we started Ladies Love Loops, I definitely was like, yo, the goal is to make this a safe space for women to come and just do what they want to do, because there has been, especially in my experiences in the beginning, I didn't necessarily have the whole experience right off the rip, where some guys, when you would be like, hey, you make beats, well, can you show me how to do stuff, and it turned into something weird. Guys trying to hit on you, that kind of stuff. I didn't experience that right off the rip, but there was a few times where it was like that. But other than that, I've always had like the warm reception. That's always been a thing. People have been so welcoming, and that's definitely what we wanted to create with Ladies Love Blues, to just have that safe welcoming and have like dope women come and share their creativity with everybody, especially with the fact that it's like, I feel like here in LA, there's definitely these up and coming collectives that are doing really dope stuff. So like I love it. It just feels really like a family. It's a community. It's definitely a community down here. Like with Burgers and all of those guys, like they're dope. They're good people. And it's just been a wonderful experience, and I just hope we could just keep it going. And so far so good, because we're gonna have our third one.
Right.
So I'm excited. So I just want that to keep going. It's positive. I feel like now it's time for the ladies to get out here, because we're finding out there's ladies are reaching out to us now, like, hey, this is what I've been looking for. Like, hey, I've been trying to get to this. Like, where have y'all been? It's like, we just starting out. So we hey, if you're dope, come through. You know, we like to see what ladies are working with, and definitely if you got rhymes, you got beats, come through. We do open ox, and if you're not up to super performing like that, you can come to the open ox, share a few songs. It's like, we definitely want that. So yeah, it's the community. It's a good feeling of having like a network of homies that, like, hey, you need help with a venue, we can help you out. It's very communal. So yeah, definitely, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was another question I was going to ask you, as far as like Ladies Love Loops, Burgers and Beats. Have you done Love Supreme? I think.
Yeah, I just did it recently. Yep.
Yeah.
I just did the last one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all of that team of Love Supreme, man, putting that together.
Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, T-Dot,
They're
Black Eyed Nine,
classy
all of them.
unit. I love them. Yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask you, is like for Inglewood, what's the beat scene like in Inglewood where you are?
You know what? I haven't really seen too many people per se here in Inglewood that are doing beats. They come out. I meet like other beat makers from here and they're elsewhere, but like here locally, I haven't really seen any shows like that. There is one that happens, like, I want to say bi-monthly, and they're like a nice little group of people. I just recently, when I seen, that was Krishan. It was for her birthday. Oh yeah, that was like last year, I believe. And she performed there, and also her name is Vintage. She's an MC, and she was dope as hell. And I was just like, you guys been having this here, and this is behind me. Like, this is not even that far. So I can't think of the name of that, but I'm gonna find out the name for sure of that group of people. That's like the only that I know of. It might be some other beat stuff going on here in Inglewood that I just don't know of per se. But like I said, I've met other producers from here, but they're always in other places. So yeah, definitely I would love to host some shows here and start that out here as well. So hopefully that all works out.
It's gonna work out, yo. So
yeah.
I gotta ask, this is just a side question, man. Like, for the people that want to come out to the shows, man, Ladies Love Loops and what's the other show? Ladies Love Loops, Duck World. Like, can you talk to the females, just kind of like let them know, like, what are these two different shows about? Yes, they are about music and art, but what are the, like, we get them out the house, man. Get them from out their room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talk to
Definitely
them.
Especially like with Ladies of Loops. It's like I said, we want you to have a good time. It's not even about like, oh, what you do. It's mainly like, come through and come vibe. Check out like the artists. We have moments where, like the last show we had, you had to guess. We took chops. Krishan took chops of songs, and you had to guess at least 3 or 4 of the songs out of those chops. I mean, we have like little games. You can win stuff. Like, it's fun. It's not for you to be, oh, this is a whole event of like, oh, who's who, and I'm gonna meet this person. It's nothing like that. It's like, real chill, and we want you to come out and have a good time and see some dope people perform. And like Duck World too. Duck World is fun. They do a lot of cool events too. And they also raise like awareness for different things as well. I know it's starting to spread out into I'm trying to think, there's a Duck World.
It's Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. I was getting ready to say Canada. I almost said Canada. I knew I was gonna be wrong. But yeah, there's a Duck World in Chicago, and I'm just like, wow, like that's dope. It's like that whole community, like that's so needed in the beat world instead of that gatekeeper, because there's a lot of that here, but a lot of that I don't experience that within my beat community. I would say like the beat community that I kind of stick around is very communal and everybody's willing to help. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of everything that I've received. I received free drum packs, you know, like different things where like, oh, I see you, Illixie, let me give you some tools to help you out. Like here, it's always just been love. So like, that's what we want. We want you to come out and feel the love that we receive and also that we want to give, and come see some dope performances and have some of our signature drinks. You know, like it's real dope. It's so cool.
Y'all got signature drinks yet?
Yes, we do. Yeah. I don't think we might have it at this show, but you know, we have like cool little signature drinks. So yeah, you gotta come out and see.
Yeah. See, look at that. That's another thing. Y'all gotta come out and see, yo.
Yep.
Signature
you gotta
drinks.
come out and see.
Yeah.
You gotta. You can't. What's the word? In order to really immerse yourself, you have to physically come out. It's no like you watching the clips from our shows is not enough. That's all I can tell you, because some people are like, oh, I love the little picture reels, and I'm like, if you were there, it'd have been a whole different experience. Yes, so you got to be there to get it all in.
Y'all hear that, listeners? Y'all hear that? Yo, you can't be just, you know what I mean, paying attention to the socials. Actually go out, support these events. Come
through, yes, please. Because it's like, we curate it, we talk to these girls, and we're like, well, not even girls, but these women, and tell them like, hey, you know, we want you to share your work. We don't want you to feel like this is like some kind of popularity contest or any of that. It's like, come through and share. And we are just so grateful that, especially these last two shows we've had, they've just been awesome turnout, the support that we get from everybody, and definitely the ladies have responded like, yo, I had so much fun performing here, this was dope, and I love that. Like, we love that. We want to just keep that on, because you know, we need that. We need that feminine touch.
That's that good feedback right there, yo. When somebody like, yo, I had an amazing time.
Yeah.
Yo, I have this another side question. So there's something happening right now in the beat community, like all around the world right now, where there's a lot of different collectives putting on shows for people to perform, people to come out, experience the music. When you have visual artists actually creating the backdrops and, you know, all that type of stuff, like to have it actually be immersive. But California is on some other shit. Like, so what is it about California? I don't know if you lived in California your whole life, but what is it about California that the creativity is just on another stratosphere, yo?
That is a good question. Yeah, I've been here my whole life. I've only moved up to like the Bay Area for a little while. Me and my son were in the Bay Area for a little bit, but definitely in regards to LA for sure. I don't know what it is about LA. I think it's because it's like a melting pot of so many different cultures out here that really electrifies the creativity here, because you could be African American and grow up with so many different people that, whether you believe it or not, you're soaking that up. You're soaking up your friends' culture. You're soaking up different things, and I think that just helps with, like, especially if you grow up here, it just helps with the creativity. But I really feel like it's the whole melting pot. I think that's what it is about California. There's so many different people here, and they bring their own little elements to the creative world, and it just, I've seen some wild stuff that I'm just like, wow. That's why I was saying, like, in terms of the beat world, it's definitely a renaissance going on here, for sure. Like, I've been seeing some really dope stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I was just getting ready to talk about this show that my friend told me about, and it was this artist where she set up like a table, and the table had like a variety of different things, and each item that she would pick up, it made a sound. And so she pretty much did like this whole, I guess, performance art type of music beat set, and she showed me a clip on her phone. I was just like,
wow,
that's dope.
Wow.
And I was just like, who is this? And she was telling me, and then we got off the subject. We started talking about other stuff. But I'm like, is people out here doing some stuff that I'm just like, yo, this is cool. So yeah, I think it's that whole melting pot, whole melting pot effect here, because it's the conglomerate of different cultures, and everybody brings their own flavor to the whole situation. Yeah.
Yo. Yo, first of all, let me, yo, we've been talking, for a minute. So listen, listeners, we are tapped in right now with Illixie, man, the ill fairy. All right. Yo, ladies love blues. Hashtag, let me make sure I got the hashtag right. Hashtag girls just want to make beats.
Yeah.
All right. Can you talk about that hashtag? Cause like, I'm gonna make sure I put that in the description, man.
Yes.
So talk about that hashtag.
When I first started making beats, somebody was like, yo, you gotta have a beat tag and you gotta have a hashtag to like clamp your stuff. And I was like, all right. And at first I used to have this like hideous beat tag, and over the years I don't necessarily have a beat tag per se. Like, I'll play it at shows, and it's my son saying, hey mom. But yeah, definitely with the hashtag, it was like my way of clamping on, like, this is Illixie. So I definitely came up with that, and it was like, instead of girls just want to have fun, it's like girls just want to make beats, and I'm that girl. So yeah, that's basically what it was. It's like, this is my marker. So that's like my online marker for me. Just like girls just want to make beats. Yeah.
Yo, that's amazing, man. Nobody ever told me that, so now I got to come up with my own hashtag. Yo, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as we kind of round this out, because I know you got things to do. You know what I mean? So, first of all, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy, man. I appreciate all the jewels that you dropping. And I have to ask this question, like. We got 4 pillars. I want to say 5 pillars of hip hop, and I know you're not just a hip hop artist or anything like that. But the pillars: DJing, MCing, breaking, graphing, beatboxing. Which one of those did you like kind of start your journey with?
That's a good question. I would say definitely it would probably it would have to be screamo. Like, that was something I was doing. I was doing like vocals before I really started tapping into like the beats. I was playing with like the screaming. Like, I love screamo music, the whole thrashy rock, the screaming and the yelling. Like, that's my shit. That's my shit. That's like the core. I feel like that's my insides. Like it's always like screaming
Yeah.
and yelling, but not in a negative way. It's just I always feel like that's a good representation of me, like this clamorous loudness, but I am quiet.
Right. So
yeah. But I would describe definitely my art overall as like clamorous. It's loud, it's abrasive, it's in your face. So oh my gosh, look, I just totally forgot what the question was.
No, you good. You good, yeah. You good, yeah. But we was talking about the pillars, like whether you started your music journey with DJing, MCing, breaking, breakdancing, graphing, or beatboxing.
Definitely the screamo. It was
Screamo.
definitely that. Yeah. The vocals.
Yeah, that's gonna be
start off with that.
So did you do your own like screamo?
Yeah, I would like, I had some homies at the time, like this was when I was very young. Like I had some homies at the time that did like a lot of punk bands, and they were like they would do like these backyard shows here, especially like in Inglewood and also like the Hawthorne area. They would have a lot of backyard shows. And when they would rehearse, like I would tell my mom like, oh yeah, I gotta go to study group. And I really wasn't at study group. I would go to my homie's house to go watch them, do their rehearsal for band, and I would just study my homies, and they would be screaming. I'd be like, I want to do that. So they started teaching me how to do it, and then they would let me practice. So after that whole experience, my mom has like this this old school ass like boombox, and she used to have this little microphone to it, and I would take the cassette. They had like 2 decks, like a little cassette tape on there, and I would like record myself screaming to songs on the radio. So like I used to scream to like little hip hop songs. That's like a side note I have never told somebody. So this is exclusive.
Exclusive.
I still have 1 or 2 tapes. So I want to get those and play those and like see what's all on there and see if I can like play with some of that stuff on there. But yeah, I used to just take, like I had a fit. I think I recorded Magic Stick and I was screaming over that. It was a 50 song. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I did a lot of little funny stuff with that boombox.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would do that for a long time, just screaming vocals over like different hip hop songs, and a lot of recording my friends. Like I did have a little tape recorder. That was like my grandma's tape recorder. I took that and I would like go with them places, and I would record our interactions, and then I would do like stupid little interviews, but it would always be like I would have like the interviews and then record over that with like screaming. So like you would hear the tape and it would be like all this talking and then over like some hip hop song. It was hilarious. So yeah, that's definitely where I started. And then it was like, I definitely want to make beats. And the beats came on much later. But yeah, it started off with the screamo stuff.
Wow. So you've really been into this expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
That's all. Yo, y'all just got exclusive, man. So I hope y'all know this, yo.
Yep.
Straight exclusive.
I've never shared that. It's one of those things where I'm always like, I'm a little embarrassed by it, but I feel like people should know.
Yeah, yo.
And it helps you know who I am.
Right. Yo, I mean, if you gotta hide that, like, man, I feel like who gives a fuck, honestly. Like, you know what I mean, like that's a part of your journey, man. So you know what I mean, if somebody don't understand what screamo is, they be like, yo, if they don't ask, hey, what's screamo to begin with, then they probably gonna be like, oh well, they probably don't really care, and probably not even that big of a deal. But thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you know that's hilarious. I was just like, oh yeah, because I just seen like one of those tapes, and my mom was like, that's one of those tapes you had. I was like, oh man,
so
it's in here. So yeah, I have to I have to play with those tapes and somehow record that and put it on my computer because that'll be dope to share those. Those were hilarious. So I just remember like it's all coming back to me now. Like I just remember doing those and feeling crazy for it, but also being like, this is cool.
Yo, I feel like that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you're gonna use those and put those into your future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Your future projects.
Exactly. That's exactly what would happen. Yes.
Yeah. Yo, that's okay. So, like, I got last three questions before we close it out. And give it some thought.
Mm-hmm.
Who are your top 5 influences? Either as a kid or as an adult right now. And no genres off limits either.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Definitely Missy Elliot, definitely for sure. That was like early on. I always think of Beat Me 911 and I would be in the bathroom listening to that song. And from the video, they were like little dolls.
Yeah,
and I remember they used to have the little joints drawn on them. And I would take like my mom's eyebrow pencil and like draw the joints and like recreate the video in the bathroom. Like I would do it in the bathroom. So definitely Missy is like definitely major influential. A man named Justin Pearson. He is the guitarist in a band that I love called The Locust, and also he runs like a record label called 31G Records. Everything like all the thrashy shit that I'm talking about, like that man embodies all of that, and he was always very influential for me growing up like in high school and all that. So definitely him. So that's 2. Definitely OhBliv. I have to give up to OhBliv because that, goddamn, he's like definitely somebody that when I started on SoundCloud, just listening to repeatedly, like I just fell in love with OhBliv. Like he means so much to me. Yeah, definitely OhBliv. Let's see. Damn. That's 3. I'll do the last 2. Oh shit. This is a little difficult because there's so many people. Like I get inspired by so many people, but just people who just stand out of all time. I'm gonna have to say RuPaul.
Okay.
Yep, RuPaul, even though he's not musical, I would definitely say I got that flamboyance. I used to watch him as a kid, and then even till now, like, you know, that whole expression of like being yourself and just staying true to you, that always meant something to me. And I always saw that in him from early age, especially when he did the work video. Like I was like, yo, if he could do that, I can go to school like this and I can wear my hair like that. Like, yeah. Yeah, definitely RuPaul. And then last one. Ooh. Damn. That is a hard one too. The last one.
I know it is.
I can't even like.
It's so many people.
It's so many people. That's what I'm saying. But it's like to just narrow it down to these 5.
All right, so it don't gotta be 5. Let that.
Okay.
Let's let that barrier go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's most sincere. Yeah.
So as of right now, who is Illixie listening to? Who is who's in Illixie's rotation? You know?
Dang. As of lately, I've been listening to a lot of West Side Gun.
West Side Gun. Yeah.
West Side Gun.
Griselda.
Definitely Boldy James. I've been listening to a lot of him. Oh my gosh. Who else have I been? Yeah, anybody in the Griselda clique, Armani Caesar, like all of them. Been listening to all of that. That whole crew is mainly what I've been listening to. And then recently, that's just been on recent repeat. It would be the homie Skyscraper. I've been listening to his new project.
Yeah, shout out to Skyscraper, man.
Yeah, he sent it to me, and I was just like, "Yo, I gotta like ride my bike to this whole album. It's so good." Right. So yeah, he's been in the list recently because I've been listening to that on repeat. And who else? Who else have I been listening to? A lot of old school ass house music from like DJ Dan and John Pegnato, like old school ass house, the clubhouse music. So I've been going backwards too. So, okay. But yeah, that's been what I've been listening to lately. A lot of Griselda and house music.
Yo, yeah, man. Shout out to Griselda, man. Their impact, even on not just hip hop, but even on beat culture. Like how many like ad libs and the verses are like used in different mutants like beats. Like it's and they hit so hard too. Like that's the crazy thing. Man, okay, yo, Skyscrapers, man. Skyscrapers album, Nod Future. You talking about Nod Future?
Yes, Nod Future is dope. It's dope. The whole thing is dope.
So, Nod Future, man. For everybody that don't know, man, I gotta plug my guy, because he was on the show a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, actually.
That was such a good episode. I loved it.
Man, so many gems, man. We could have kept talking. 13 tracks, man. So 13 tracks. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all that. I think it's on his Bandcamp.
I believe it is on his Bandcamp.
Yeah, so go support on Bandcamp, but then also go ahead and stream that as well. Mm-hmm. I gotta ask this question. And if you're able to, right? What's the one thing you wish you knew before you started your own music and art creation journey in one word?
In one word? Oh. It has to be like 2 or 3 words.
Fuck it, let's go. Well, okay. It don't matter. It's about the words.
Stop giving a fuck what others are gonna think about you. Just do it. Put it out there. People want to hear it. People don't want to hear this like regurgitated same shit over and over. People want to hear new stuff. And if you got something, share it. Stop giving a fuck what you think others are gonna possibly think. That's what I would have told myself in the beginning process of this, because it got to the point where I just got so caught up in thinking about they're not gonna like this, they're not gonna like that. And it's like, nah, you gotta put out what you are feeling, and people feel that. So stop giving a fuck what you think others are possibly gonna think about whatever you got going on. It's not about them, it's about you. Yes, you will find the people that fuck with you the most will come to you and be like, yo, I get what you're doing. And that's better than trying to be in some weird popularity contest. Yeah.
Message. That's a message right there, everybody. Yep. Yo. Childlile, the music video. Can we talk about this video? Because it's in the playground, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's doing some amazing stuff, yo.
Yeah.
So can we talk about this? And that's on Illixie's YouTube channel, man. So I'm gonna link that as well in the description of the show so people can tap in. Can you talk about the creation of Childlile, that music video? Yeah.
So basically, shout out to my homegirl Woochie Baby. She helped me get it all together. She helped edit it. I took home videos, a bunch of old school home videos of like me and my brother. And like my family when we were young and all that. and actually recorded footage of different places through Inglewood and just showcasing like current life over my childhood life and kind of showing that it's all still blended in the same way. Kind of like with the video, I overlaid I wanted to have like the old footage from when I was a kid onto current times. And so that's kind of how like the video is. It's like it's showing you parts of Inglewood and just parts of where, especially parts of Inglewood that I grew up in. There's one portion of like Inglewood High. I went to Inglewood High. I think I showed Crozier in there, and that was my middle school. Just a variety of like scenic things in Inglewood and all kind of tying it into my life. And it was kind of like a little short timeline of showing you how much life, and then there's a portion where there's a cemetery in there, and I have like different family kind of overlaying on that, and it's just really like another form of storytelling, a visual story of like me growing up and now, and with the playground, and still being that child, having that childlike kind of feel, because a lot of people, when they get around me, they're like, oh, you have like this youthful spirit, you seem like so much like this youthfulness to you. And like I said, I always honor my inner child, because for a long time I would just repress that, and now as an adult I'm trying to honor her as much as possible. So yeah, definitely childlike is a good representation of that.
Man, Queen Park, Queen Park, yo, that that's a childhood park. Love that park. Yo, who's the Hoochie Baby? Is that
Hoochie Baby? Yep.
Woochie Baby. Yo, shout out to Woochie Baby and you, man. This video was like just the way the overlays and the, you know what I mean, the old school TV static and you know, oh man, this video is straight this like I wish I had the videos.
I know.
My childhood, yeah, man.
I'm so glad my grandma and my grandfather kept all those tapes, and like when I was going over it with her, she was just like, well, we can just project this on the wall, you know that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, let's do that, and we're gonna figure it out. And she brought it all together. She understood the vision I was going for, and she captured it, and it worked out beautifully. Wow. So
yeah, I gotta make sure people see this video, man, because as we're talking about being childlike and honoring the inner child, like that's why I had to bring this video up, man, because that's what I feel like when I watch this video. Like I feel like I'm transporting back to my childhood, even though it ain't being my video.
Playground, being in the park, hopscotching and stuff. Just having like a good old time in the park. And that park in particular, like I used to go there every summer, be there with like my little friends. We used to catch sandbees in that park. So that park in particular is an awesome park. Like I love that park. So I had to start there and just branch out in different areas. And then there is one scene in there where it shows the SoFi Stadium before it was finished. Now I saw
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I did like the structure of that. Like it tied in really well. I like that we put all that in there, because it's like it's that whole growing pains too. Like you're growing up and things in your neighborhood changes. You know, it was like showing the changes around the area and all that too. So yeah, a lot of stuff has changed in the city of Inglewood now. Like we're getting ready to we already got the Forum, got SoFi, and now we're going to have the Clippers Arena here. So we're going to have it's so many changes going on here. So many changes.
Wow. Hey, the Clippers going to have their own stadium now? That's what's up.
Yeah, they're going to have their own arena. Yep.
Time. Damn.
It's called it's called the Intuit Dome. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So that probably will be open next year. They're damn near done with it now. Almost.
Are you a basketball fan?
Huh?
Are you a basketball fan?
I'm not a basketball fan per se. I like competitive cycling and football.
Okay. All right. Yeah, competitive cycling and football. So you be watching the Olympics.
I mainly watch like Tour de France, and then when they do Tour of California, I try to keep up with that when they have that here. But like I'll watch like Tour de France. And sometimes I'll watch like the velodrome races on the Olympics when they do have it. Sometimes.
Yeah. That's the guys with the helmet.
Yeah. And they ride in those circles for like damn near 2 hours, just going crazy. Super crazy speeds. Like I didn't even know it's humanly possible to get up to like 77 miles in that circle. I'm like, what? You can go that fast like that? But yeah, I like the competitive cycling because I'm a cyclist myself. So
I got you. Yo, so you got a competitive cyclist, sorcerer of sound, visual artist, like you know what I mean, director, executive producer, like you doing it, mother, like all of this, man. Yo, okay,
the Jill of all trades.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So okay, last question. What should the internets look out for from Illixie in 2023? Do you have any projects get ready to come out? I know you just released 1010, so let people live with that for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely check out 1010, but be on the lookout for in the summertime. I got something big coming out in the summer. Oh yes. Be on the lookout for that. That's coming super soon. So I'm still kind of secretive about it. I'll start posting soon what's coming. So little teasers for y'all. Okay. Yeah, definitely in the summer.
Okay. Any performances you got coming up soon?
Yes. So April 27th, we have our Beat Cinema takeover for Ladies Love Loops. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be Ritual Fade, myself, Krishana Dawn, Duck Girl, Bay Wave. I believe Black Jade is playing too, and that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be fun. And then the next day, right after that, April 28th, I have a show with Not Evil. That's gonna be dope. Arozella is gonna be on there too, and a couple other people. That's gonna be fun as well. And that's the shows I have for April. Hopefully we're gonna have some other upcoming shows in May, but as of right now, those are the shows in April.
I got you. So how can people tap into Illixie, man? Like put out your socials, your website. Like I want people to tap into you and everything you got going on,
Yeah. So definitely you can find me on, sorry, my dog hears something and she's barking.
Sorry.
So yeah, you can definitely find me at Illixie on all platforms. That's ILLIXIE. Except for Twitter. I'm Kagome Bay because some weird ass bot has Illixie and it won't disappear. I reported that page so many times. So I can have my thing back. But yes, I'm Kagome Bay on Twitter. But other than that, you can find me as Illixie on any platform. I also, in summertime as well, I will be reopening up my online shop that is called Complexion, where I will be selling like exclusive Illixie stuff, some merch, as well as handmade cannabis accessories. I opened it last year and it did really well, and so now I had to shut down to make more products, so I'm just about done with all the products, so look forward to that. And you can find that Complexion, that's COMPLXXN. So there you go. So Complexion. Yeah. I'm gonna link that in the description as well. I was gonna ask you about the website, so thank you. Yeah, thanks for that, because it's like, we gonna be back. I know you. Oh yeah, we shoot. It's mainly been a whole thing about resources and making everything and making sure everything is like up to par because I like to have quality items. So that's my thing. I want it to be nice and quality, and that's something that you can utilize forever and it won't break down on you.
See,
Yeah, especially like my cannabis accessories. Like I have like ashtrays, rolling trays, everything, containers to house your cannabis in, really custom made ashtrays, all of that. So yeah, it's been a journey trying to keep that up and doing it. And hey, I'm doing it. So I can't wait to share all of that when all that's done. So yeah.
Yo, I listen. This was an honor for me to, tap in with you, man, and just talk everything Illixie. It was an honor for me. I mean, we're talking to an entrepreneur, we're talking to a visual artist, we're talking to a sorceress of sound, we're talking to the ill fairy, we're talking to a director, executive producer, live performer, mom. Like we talk, yo, what is it when people listen to this, first of all, there should be never any like, what do you call it? Like barriers or trying to put women in a box. I never thought women were ever in a box because my mom, both my grandmoms, my aunts, my own mom, my wife, like have never been in a box. They ain't gonna never let somebody put them in the box. So like even me, they're gonna be like, yo, sit your ass down, calm down. We got this. My daughters are the same way, like, you know what I mean? They gonna never, I tell them, don't never let somebody put you in a box.
Right.
So thank you, man. You just gave me crazy jewels I can pass on to them as well, as far as making sure you honor the child, the inner child,
Yeah, you got to, because that's like your root. That inner child is definitely your root. And I think all of us have experienced some kind of, pains when you're a child, whether it's like some kind of trauma or, just certain adverse things that might happen in your life when you were a kid. And when you become an adult, sometimes you don't always realize that, maybe something that happened from your childhood is affecting you now. And you have to like tap in and heal that inner child to even like really like see like, hey, okay, now I understand why I do this, because it stems, like I said, it's your root. So you have to. It's still there. I just think people just kind of lose that inner child or sit that inner child back when you get older because you got bills and kids and shit. You got stuff that you have to handle and you really don't have necessarily all that time. But I always recommend people tap into that inner child because you never know. There's sides of you that come from that inner child that will show up in your adulthood and you're like, oh shit, I didn't really realize I really like that. Like, oh, okay, I can do this more often. Like I have friends now that are married and have like 2 kids and stuff, and they're just now getting back into things that they used to love doing as a kid. My one friend has been working in the corporate world for years now, and now she started a hair business and it's really flourishing and she loves it, and she can quit her corporate job now because she's making a nice living off of something she honestly loves now. And I love hearing stories like that where it's like, hey, I went back to I used to braid my Barbie's hair, now I want to braid people's hair, that whole feel. So that's why I'm always like, yes, honor that inner child, please. You have to. Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is, everybody. Yo, Inglewood, California, the Ill Fairy, Illixie. Yo, thank you
so much.
Yo, it was an honor to tap in with you, yo, and to learn all about you. And I know this is just a snapshot where you are right now. And then, in a little small part of your history, but I'm excited for what you got coming out. I'm excited for your collaborations with
Yes.
Ladies Love Loops, and Duck World and all of that, man. So I'm definitely a fan. I'm tapped in. I don't want to say tapped. I'm syncing with your frequency. How about that?
Yes. I love that. Syncing with the frequency. Yes, that is absolutely. I love that. See, I'm gonna start using that now.
Exactly.
Syncing with the frequency. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Because people tap.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, because people tap and then they just keep scrolling, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like on the phone.
Yes.
But to sync with it, you actually in it.
You in it. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yo.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna start using that now.
Hey, that's not even mine. I just saw it somewhere and I'm like, damn, that's the same reaction you got right now. Is the same.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, you're syncing with the frequency. Yes, absolutely. Oh, I'm so honored by that. Like that. You don't know that. Like that's gonna make me like once we are done with this, I'm probably gonna go back to making some more beats.
Me too. You got me in it right now. So
now I'm like, oh, I gotta go play.
Yo, that's what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, that is the show, man. This is episode number 94. You actually helping me get to 100 episodes.
Hey.
So, yo, I need y'all to go ahead and tap in, sync with Illixie on Bandcamp. Go ahead and follow on Bandcamp. Follow on your DSPs. You know what I mean? Follow on the website and just Instagram as well. Follow on Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, and TikTok as well. I just started doing TikTok.
Okay, TikTok. Hey, throw TikTok in there too. Then I haven't gotten it. It's so many. Like I can't keep up.
So many. Yeah.
But as one dies, then we like kind of transition to another one. So, but yeah, I'm excited for what you have going on. So I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for the jewels that you dropped. And I know like everybody that's going to listen to this episode, they're going to either think, they're going to either like reassess what's going on in their life. They're going to laugh. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a bright, shining, bright. What am I trying to say about that? A shining star for them.
Like my grandma always say, you gotta shine, baby. You gotta shine. You gotta shine.
Yeah, so that's the show, everybody. I had an amazing conversation, man, with the ill fairy, man, the one and only Illixie, man. Y'all make sure y'all go support, follow on social media, Bandcamp. You know what I mean? Support the movement at Ladies Love Loops LA. You know what I mean? Duck World, all of that, man. And we're gonna be back with another episode of the Rec Show Podcast. Inshallah. Peace and love, everybody. Pow, 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 pow.
Good job. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. And I'm proud of you. No matter he breaks you up, kick you up, throw you away, or whatever, that's all past. The consequence is a new chance, is the possibility of new light coming. How good is that? Vive la break-up. And only to say my ending with this purpose is the gift from heaven for me to start a life. It's okay. It's a better match. It's a better. That's important. You are receiving a gift by this breakup. Because you closed the door, angel cannot enter. Now you open up your window. And you can open up your eyes, because before your eyes are blind.